Coming up on Mountain News at 6, the polls are closing and the vote count begins in dozens of local elections. But the Kentucky Senate race is what is getting national attention. And our American Idol finalist, Louisa's own Noah Thompson, is back in the mountains tonight. We'll take you live to Lawrence County for a preview of his homecoming concert.
As we head into the second half of May, we watch the potential for more active weather heading our way. The latest details are next at 6.
Good evening again from WYMT Election Headquarters. I'm Steve Hensley. All eyes across the Bluegrass tonight are fixed on Kentucky's United States Senate race. Rand Paul faces a lot of competition in the primary, but is expected to win. Meanwhile, 4 Democrats, including presumed frontrunner Charles Booker, hope to flip the seat blue in November. Washington News Bureau reporter Jamie Bittner is live in Washington with more on the battle for your vote. Jamie?
Senator Rand Paul is seeking to win his 3rd term in the U.S. Senate. Democrats are seeking to win over voters by running on a political agenda that's the opposite of Paul's. The economy is almost always a main issue for voters in every election, says University of Kentucky political expert D. Stephen Voss.
Kentucky voters tend to be fairly moderate on economic issues, including Kentucky Republicans. They tend to be very conservative on social issues.
So for this Democrat hoping to beat Rand Paul this November, Charles Booker is focused on the reality of Kentucky and its economy.
Kentucky isn't really a red state. We are a disenfranchised and marginalized and often ignored and abandoned state.
Booker envisions a Kentucky New Deal focused on health care, infrastructure, and ending generational poverty.
To be able to speak to the struggles that really are bigger than partisan divides, and also to call out the hate and the racism that's been weaponized to drive us apart.
Incumbent Rand Paul recognizes many bluegrass families are struggling.
I think most people instinctively know that nothing in life really is free. You're going to have to pay for it through hard work. Right now, we're paying for it through inflation, and it could get much worse.
Paul says he's campaigning on a message of limited government and curb spending.
People come from government and they say, we will give you checks. Here's $1,400. Here's a check. You know, we're going to take care of you. But they don't tell you that the penalty or the price for that is inflation. Spending
that he blames for those rising prices. That University of Kentucky political expert tells me in United States Senate races, name recognition really doesn't matter that much. He says that's because they're so well funded and so well advertised that by the time the general election rolls around on November 8th, voters will know both candidates very well. Live in Washington, I'm Jamie Bittner for WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Jamie, thank you very much. Well, let's take a look at just a few of the big local races we'll be following tonight. There are many of them. An interesting race in the 97th District Republican primary for state representative. Incumbent Bobby McCool hopes to hold off fellow state representative Norma Kirk McCormick. Now, both McCool and McCormick won their seats in 2020. However, because of redistricting, McCormick lost her 93rd district seat, which beginning next year will cover a portion of Fayette County. Whoever wins tonight will win the 97th district. No Democrats filed to run. In the 86th district, Republican Tom Odell Smith faces Keith Dinsmore. Smith won back that seat in 2020 when longtime state representative Jim Stewart stepped down. Dinsmore is a police officer, Vietnam veteran, and a pastor. A crowded field in the Republican primary for Clay County Judge Executive. Incumbent Johnny Johnson faces 3 challengers. Former Judge Executive Joe Asher filed to run. You may remember Asher, who pleaded guilty to a charge of abuse of public trust in 2018. A grand jury indicted him and a road foreman for completing jobs with city-owned materials and then pocketing thousands of dollars for their services. A former sheriff is also running in the primary, Kevin Johnson, along with Tommy Harmon. The winner will face Democrat Jeffrey Croucher in November. Another interesting race in Clay County for county clerk. Incumbent Beverly Kraft faces former clerk Freddie Thompson. You may remember Thompson from the Clay 8 vote buying case. Thompson and numerous others pleaded guilty to racketeering in 2013. Prosecutors said Thompson and others bought or stole votes during elections in 2002, 04, and 06. Former State Representative Tim Couch wants back into politics. He's challenging Leslie County Judge Executive William Lewis. Lewis defeated then incumbent Jimmy Sizemore in 2018. This is Lewis's first re-election bid. In Kentucky's 5th congressional district, Congressman Hal Rogers faces 4 challengers in the Republican primary. The congressman is seeking his 22nd term. He was first elected in 1981. Well, as we mentioned, the polls are now closing in Kentucky. We should have the first results soon. One local voter we talked to told us it took her only 3 minutes from start to finish to vote. As WYMT's Dakota Makris reports, county clerks throughout our region expected more crowds than what they saw.
Kentuckians headed to the polls Tuesday to cast their ballots, making sure their voices are heard.
That's just my right. Then I don't have a right to complain if someone gets in there that I'm not really as fond of.
The primary election deciding who makes it to November's general election.
I think everyone should vote. I really do. We definitely need it now for the right people.
We talked with county clerks in Harlan, Laurel, and Pike counties. Pike County Clerk Rhonda Taylor says more than 2,700 people voted as of Tuesday afternoon. She says she expected that number to increase as they continued, saying she has seen a decent turnout.
We've got a lot of heated races that are on the ballot, and that we will have in the fall also. And that generally brings more people out. They take more interest in it.
It is a different story for Harlan County. County Clerk Donna Hoskins says they hoped for at least 8,000 voters to turn out, but says the county probably will not reach that goal.
From the indications of my early voting, the 3 days, it was so light that I believe that this one is going to be a light one.
Laurel County Clerk Tony Brown says voter participation is what he calls less than normal. There are some factors bringing numbers down.
We have magistrates who are unopposed, county judge executive, the sheriff's unopposed, so that takes numbers down somewhat.
Regardless, they are just happy with the turnout. Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Harlan County Clerk Donna Hoskins says their busiest time is from 4:30 until the polls closed. For Laurel Countyans who are eager to know the primary election results, the Laurel County Fiscal Court is offering an opportunity for you to see those numbers as soon as they drop. The Fiscal Court purchased a program that will allow folks to view election updates and results through a website as soon as they are released. Laurel County Clerk Tony Brown says the county is the only county in the state to utilize a program of this kind.
You know, it excites me that people have somewhere to go now where they can see the results as quick as they can and go through any race they want to see and find out exactly where it is. And at the end of the night, you have all the numbers there.
Brown adds that he's excited for Laurel County to be one of the first to test out this program, and that website is laurelcountyclerk.com. The Office of the Attorney General has fielded 82 pre-election day complaints and 101 election day complaints. Those are the latest numbers as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. If you suspect election fraud, you're asked to report the incident to the Attorney General's Election Fraud Hotline by calling 1-800-328-VOTE.
Well, it's been a beautiful primary election day around the mountains today, and a quiet evening expected, at least weather-wise. Of course, political arena will be heating up tonight as we find out who will be moving on to the election in November. Outside right now, it's all quiet. Low 70s around the region. UVA Wines camera. Again, just a few high clouds out there looking pretty nice at the moment. Mountain Parkway at Slade. Again, those shadows of those trees getting a little bit longer as we get a little bit closer to sunset around the mountains. Most of us within a degree or two of 80. It's been a really comfortable day around the region. Just keeping an eye on showers and storms to our west. Nothing we have to worry about tonight. The only thing is, I'd keep an eye to the western sky with some high clouds pushing in. Could make for a pretty nice sunset around the region. A little bit of patchy fog possible tonight if we can keep the clouds at bay, but otherwise, upper 50s, mostly clear to partly cloudy overnights. Winds staying light and variable. I'll have the latest on when a few storms could be on the strong side coming up a little bit later on. Steve?
Right, Evan, thank you. Those living in one eastern Kentucky town now have a new spot to grab a drink. A new bar on Main Street in Hazard is the latest business in a broader revival of Main Street. WYMT's Keaton Hall has more.
A new bar is opening in Hazard as the city hopes to revitalize its downtown scene.
Kind of just randomly got in touch with some people that they told us that there was some effort to kind of rebuild downtown Hazard.
The North Fork Inn had a soft opening this past weekend. Downtown coordinator Bailey Richards says the other bars in town shouldn't be worried about the competition.
Also, having a second bar as another draw into our downtown ultimately makes both places more marketable to everybody, and that's what we really want to see.
Another small business, Vintage Delane Boutique, also opened this past weekend.
The opening exceeded my expectations. It was just amazing. I was so humbled. I literally cried the whole way home and just prayed, and I was just so grateful. The community has been amazing.
In total, 47 businesses have opened in Hazard in the past 3 years, showing a community is ready to shop local.
I hear so many girls come in here and say, I don't have to go out of town. I can shop right here, because I love to shop local. I always try to shop local.
Richards says at least 20 businesses at any time are looking to move into brick and mortar storefronts in downtown Hazard.
We have not seen a shortage of people looking to open businesses. What we have a shortage of is available properties that are reasonably move-in ready.
A downtown revitalization bolstered by a community ready to stay local. In Hazard, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
The North Fork Inn is only serving drinks for now, but owner Mike Adams hopes to add a kitchen once the bar area is complete. Governor Andy Beshear designated May as Brain Tumor Awareness Month today in the Capitol's Rotunda. The governor also recognized May 17th as Diffuse Intrinsic Pontine Glioma, or DIPG Day in Kentucky, and declared May 21st as David Turner Jr. Ice Cream Day in honor of a boy who died of DIPG. Once as low as 1.97% in April, Kentucky's COVID-19 positivity rate has climbed to more than 9% as of yesterday. Most counties on the state's COVID-19 community level map remain green or low, but the majority of the counties in yellow or medium are here in eastern Kentucky, including Floyd, Johnson, Lawrence, Magoffin, Martin, and Pike. This is the 7th consecutive week the Commonwealth has experienced an increasing positivity rate. Well, with a lot of eyes staying focused on the election tonight, traffic is building in Lawrence County to get a glimpse of a star in the making. American Idol finalist Noah Thompson is back home in the mountains for a parade and concert a little later tonight. WYMT's Zach Hawk is live in Louisa with a preview of what to expect. Zach?
Steve, excitement's really starting to build here in downtown Louisa, where Noah Thompson is getting ready to make his first appearance back home since finding so much success on American Idol. People in Louisa say you could find Noah playing music all over town. It never seemed like a big deal.
One day, I didn't know that they were in there. He was doing his audition for Idol, and I kind of walked in and didn't know, and they were like, he's doing his audition right now.
After a historic journey to the American Idol finale, he's a celebrity.
I actually got to do a selfie with him. I was excited to see him.
And he's not just a big deal locally.
I'm coming from Indianapolis, Indiana, because I have been a Noah Thompson fan since day one, primarily because I'm 70 years old and he's the grandson I never had.
Noah is making fans from Indiana to some surprising places.
My husband, he is currently deployed in Africa, and they live stream with me on Sunday nights to watch Noah, just specifically for Noah.
Noah will take a parade route through his hometown Louisa before he gets to perform for an excited crowd.
I knew he was just awesome and he was going to just really do something cool, but I guess you don't really grasp the idea that he would go there and he's just like dominated it, and he's going to win.
Yeah.
He's going to win. I just had no doubt in my mind.
Organizers say they are prepared for a crowd of 10,000 people. Steve, Noah will be parading through downtown Louisa in just a little bit at about 7 o'clock. So if you're in town, come on out. Then he'll head to a concert at 8:30 up at the Lawrence County High School football field. For now, live in Louisa, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Zach, and of course we'll have a complete wrap-up of the parade and concert coming up tonight at 11. We're hearing there might be a special guest or two, so stay tuned to see who it is.
Great weather for the concert out there tonight. More active weather, though, is heading our way, and that could include some strong storms, the very latest next. Plus,
do you and your family enjoy a scavenger hunt? Well, there's an opportunity waiting for you down in Harlan County.